Hi there. This reading is for Taurus, and I'm currently involved in doing tarot readings for characters in the sci-fi I'm writing, and I don't have a Taurus character. And I'm really looking at that. I have 10 characters, there's 12 signs, but there's no Taurus, there's no Capricorn. Suggests some kind of prejudice against earth signs. Yeah, anyway, but at the same time, I'm feeling quite compelled today, like so compelled that I'm going to do a reading for Taurus right now. So I have Taurus friends, totally totally appreciate you, and I'm going to do a reading for you. Maybe my friends need to hear something from me, from the cards. So I'm going to give you a message. I'm being told to do it. And, that sounds hokey when I say that, but that's how strong it feels. So let's see what happens. We'll start with an Oracle of the Moon card to kind of set the tone for this reading. See what the overall concept is. Wow, that's really beautiful. The concept is focus. Every time I look at this card, of course, I first see how that beautiful butterfly and that beautiful woman are clearly related. But I also feel anxious about how she is submerged in water. And I think about the next thing, how will she breathe? How will she get air? She seems completely at peace. The water here could just be emotions, representing that element. But I'm just sharing what comes up for me as a way of kind of getting a sense of what's happening here. So she's in a bubble of water out in the stars, starry sky, under the moon. Yeah, let's find out more about that. First, we'll go ahead and look in the book here for number 14. What does it say about focus? Okay, seems very good for a Taurus. For an earth sign, you must focus on the task at hand right now. Very practical, right? Earthy. There is no room for a scattergun approach. Put on the blinkers and do not listen to gossip or negative people. If you make a mistake, it is your mistake to make. Do not waste your focus. Do not split your attention into too many pieces. I have a laser-like focus that serves me well. I have a laser-like focus. It means I can only do one thing at a time, but it does mean I get stuff done. And you, Taurus, are like me, a fixed sign, and fixed people people tend to think of us as stubborn. Actually, what it means is that we have integrity and we are finishers. We will stick through to the end, right? So you always want to have a fixed sign in your team, because we're going to be the ones that make sure what we envision, that all the cardinal signs come up with these great ideas, that we get it finished, right? And so that's why it takes this intense focus, because the mutable people and the cardinal people are going to just have lots of new ideas, and you have a capacity, Taurus, as a fixed sign, to focus on what feels so deeply good to you, what you really want, and what you want to place your laser-like focus upon. And soon it will be yours, right? So that's a stick-to-itiveness that is a quality of Taurus and the other fixed signs. Yeah, I also keep hearing these readings talking about us fixed people as sort of unable to deal with change. And we have a lot of change coming. It looks like 2020 was a tough year. 2021 is going to have a new set of tensions, and between the old world and the new world, between Uranus, this kind of rebel, break all the rules, and Saturn. Uranus is in Taurus, suggesting that the way that we think about and organize our whole system is going to change. And then Saturn is opposite Taurus in Aquarius, another fixed sign, which is like social media and the internet and venues where we go see movies and music. All of that business is going to be, people are predicting that that's going to be affected in very practical ways. We're going to see what astrologer Molly McCord, I heard a podcast of hers, she talks about a collapse coming, right? So we fixed people, it may be hard for us to weather something so dramatic, this change. I feel like the strength of me as a fixed sign, because I'm fixed, like I'm a Scorpio, Leo moon, Aquarius rising. I'm fixed 3 ways, and Taurus is somewhere in my chart as well. But also, I feel like Taurus is my 4th corner, and so I'm always kind of conscious of Taurus. Anyway, so I'm feeling like very with my fixed friends and in kindred spirit with you, and wanting to make an argument that we have this integrity and this stability in our sense of who we are, that actually gives us talent for weathering a world that's changing around us. We can be quite grounded. And I'd say Taurus of all, you, the earth of us fixed people, have that quality. So apparently I'm a little bit on my soapbox. I hope you find it useful. Okay, so we're going to do a 4-card release, embrace, hidden influences, and future reading here. Let's see what happens. We're going to do the good tarot for the original 4, and then I'll clarify with the Waite-Smith deck here. Okay, so releasing the 6 of water. So talking about change. 6 of water is, in this deck in particular, is a negative state of nostalgia. She's moping here by the water. The reflection in the water is the reflection in the water is a younger self. So the 6 of water, you can see she's seeing her reflection. This is about nostalgia for your childhood, for the past, for a past life connection, maybe. I love it. This card usually is the card of inner child work. And so for me, this appeals a great deal. Apparently I'm quite disagreeable today. It must be Uranus and Taurus. Anyway, but this card is in your release. You're supposed to let go of the past here. Let go of nostalgia, right? You may be clinging to the past in some way. So this may be distracting your focus from what you need to be doing and the task ahead. Embrace the King of Water. That's me. That's a Scorpio. King of Water, fixed sign. It's another fixed sign. So forget the Scorpio. This is in your emotional realm, but this is a fixed, certain, sort of stable, masculine. Yeah, and I see this King of Water. He's quite a sweet old Neptune guy, right? And he's looking at this little fish here. I see his focus on that little fish. And there's an open-heartedness about him. He's a sweet old guy. He's a kind king. So embrace that. So you're in the water. This is an emotional reading. You're in the water all 3 ways, right? Remember, you're submerged in feelings here. Feelings are coming up. But the King of Water is the most emotionally mature, capable of being fixed. He doesn't talk a lot about his feelings. He's got other things that he's doing, but he's aware of his feelings. So releasing nostalgia, embracing this. In the background is some kind of a new truth. Beautiful Pegasus, Ace of Air, also Ace of Swords. So that's just like there's this opposition between Aquarius and Taurus on the wheel of the sky, and so we can see air, truth coming in, and this truth is making me think of this little fish. Like, so you can see on the table how the Pegasus is flying towards what you're being told to embrace, right? There's a little fish. That pink of the fish is making me think of this Ace of Air. So there's some kind of new truth coming in. And this can be intellectual, philosophical, spiritual truth. It's up in the air, in the blood, in the atmosphere. But it's coming in, and you're being told to focus on this little fish here, with the stability and maturity of the King of Water. It's an emotional stability. There's something that you need to know that's coming into you, and so receive that. And the future is the King of Fire. You got lots of maturity, lots of more fixed, right? King of Fire would be a Leo here, right? So you have we'll find out more what that is, what the future holds for you. On the bottom, a 3 of Fire. This is the manifestation coming in. This actually looks like you moving towards something here. Very magical. Again, the pink makes me think of the little fish here, right? There's something coming in. There's something coming in. Maybe it's the thing that you're working on. We end up in the pink here, color-wise. So I think that's important, right? So that we can see that if you take this advice of focusing here, and you embrace this little truth that's coming in, this little Ace of Air, that you're going to get, that's going to come to fruition. Cool. Okay, let's find out more about this. We'll clarify with the Waite Smith traditional tarot images for us today. Taurus. What are we releasing here? The 6 of Water. What is this? What's this release? The 6 of Water. What does Taurus need to release? Oh, the Tower. Something ended quite dramatically and suddenly and surprisingly. A little Page of Wands. A little new passionate beginning. Creative idea. And then there was a 7 of Swords, a kind of sneaking away. It looks like you lost something. It was something new and exciting, and it snuck off somehow. There was a tower. It snuck away. It kind of took you by surprise that this ended. And you're kind of stuck in that a little bit. You're feeling nostalgia for whatever that was, that youthful creative idea. And I also see the 7 of Swords. I see disarmament here because this person is taking all the weapons of this military camp here. So 7 of Swords is sneaky, dishonest, but it's also disarming, right? So I think this is, to me, this little Page of Wands, whatever that was, this new creative project or idea or person, a person that had brought this into your life, they surprised you by walking away. They snuck away. You lost something and you didn't expect to lose it. And you're feeling nostalgia about that. And that might be, I don't know, are you depressed? Are you stuck in that? Is it distracting you from your usual ability to focus and finish things? Cool. I mean, I'm sorry, but it's just a very strong, the urge to do this reading, and then this that you need some kind of guidance out of the Six of Water state is what I feel like. I feel grateful to be asked to carry this message for you. I hope it looks good ending in the King of Fire. And the King of Fire is the grown-up version of this Page of Wands. So maybe that is the thing you need to focus on. Maybe this Page of Wands didn't sneak away. Something happened, though, that surprised you. And it could be this Page of Wands is going to mature into, in the future, this King of Fire. So this creative project, that could be your little fish, right? The little fish, this little truth, this little ace of air, this new little, and I feel like it's young and it's little and it needs to be protected and given attention and love to. So you need to nurture this little thing. So that's a couple of possible readings of you're dwelling in the past, but there is this little Page of Wands. And the reason I see the Page of Wands carrying forward is because he's pointed forward in the narrative here, whereas the Seven of Swords is sneaking backwards. This suggests to me that this is what, and you're looking in the same direction here. That this person is walking, right? I don't know. That person's looking over their shoulder while they walk backwards. I suddenly feel really wacky and vulnerable. Just in case that is your energy. All right. Yeah, the High Priestess. She jumped out. She says, trust your intuition. Okay? I'm to trust my intuition. You're to trust your intuition. This is a part of your embrace. She jumped out. I'm not supposed to shuffle again. Okay. There's this key that will let you back into this room. You just have to find it. This is a state of mind, the Five of Pentacles. This is your grief. There's something here in this feeling of being left out and impoverished for you to embrace, right? They're outside of a church in the snow, but there is light coming out of the church. What else? Oh, anxiety, insomnia. Why on earth would you need to embrace this? I don't want you to embrace a Five of Pentacles and a Nine of Swords. You are grieving something. You're having trouble focusing because you've had a loss, this Tower. And you got tricked or lied to. There's a lack of integrity in your situation. Surprised you. And you had just started in on this new idea, this Page of Wands. And that needs your focus. But you're in anxiety and insomnia. You feel bad. And it's affected you in a very practical, material way. So there's other fives to talk about grief and loss. But this Five of Pentacles is in the financial. This seems to me, even though this is an emotional situation, like you're definitely having feelings about this loss that you're nostalgic about. It says trust your intuition. Trust this little Page of Wands, this little idea, the little fish that needs to be focused on and reached out towards emotionally. Even though I think because the Seven of Swords happened, you're having maybe a little trouble with trusting yourself. But once these cards are saying, trust yourself, trust your intuition. You can still trust your intuition even though you got fooled and you got surprised back there. That's over. Focus on this idea, and it's okay to have grief, loss, sense of betrayal, sense of abandonment, insomnia. That's normal response when somebody betrays you after a tower. I'm personally going through something like that. I'm really trying to both honor the feelings. I have anger, loss, embarrassment, all kinds of things, yucky feelings. I'm trying to feel them and acknowledge them while doing this stuff. And this is a part of a bigger science fiction writing project that I'm engaged in here. So, yeah. So Taurus, trust your intuition. High Priestess is here. And she always says, trust yourself. The Lovers are on the bottom of the deck there, by the way. So if that was a romantic heartbreak that you went through, or some kind of longing, an emotional longing. So if work and romance were mixed up, I don't know if that makes sense to you. And it also suggests a choice that you have. Yeah. I'm feeling at odds with the cards. There's, again, my stubbornness coming up. Like, I want you to feel these feelings. The Five of Pentacles and the Nine of Swords, those are the worst part of grief and loss, right? So that's one choice that we have here. And the other choice is to focus on this creative project that you, Vix sign, are going to finish. We see it finished in the end of the story with the King of Fire. So this reading is saying focus on that. Forget this loss. Move on from it. The way to move on from that is take up this Page of Wands, this creative idea. It's important because it has some kind of truth that it carries, and it will come to fruition here. That's the future. So this is cautioning you against just getting stuck in your depression. I agree with that. But there's also the King of Water, He knows his feelings. This is your embrace. Yeah, he knows how he feels, so he knows his sorrow. That's why he's got white hair, because, he's a mature guy who's had a life, an emotional life. And a part of loving is losing. It's not your fault if somebody betrays you. If there's a Seven of Swords and somebody betrayed you, that's not your fault. Sometimes we get ashamed that we chose badly and we always pick this way. But when somebody lies and cheats and betrays, if this has happened to you, I feel a very strong need to tell this to you. Like, that is not your fault. That's on them, not you. There's nothing wrong with you. You don't deserve that. You have the amazing intuitive power of the High Priestess here. These cards want you to know that. Okay, I feel like I need to shuffle here. This Ace of Air, this truth that is related to this little idea that you need to focus on and build into a king. All right, what is this beautiful Pegasus, this new truth, this new wisdom? Okay, the Hierophant, that's your card, Taurus. The Pope. What else? The Magician. Wow. Hang on. Let me get, and the Three of Wands. Okay. Wow. Your institutional power, in yourself, Taurus, in your earthy, structural power, whatever that is, wherever you associate that. This is the institution of the church, but this is also your card. So you, in your true self, like you have the High Priestess the Hierophant. There's a lot of intuitive feminine power here, but there's some kind of structural power that you have, or a way that you have authority on an institutional level. You have all the tools that you need to manifest, to make this little Page of Wands grow up to be the King of Fire, as we see in this narrative already. You have all the tools to make the world as you want to see it. And then you just have to wait for it to come in. So this is what you're being told to focus on. This is the truth that you need to know your power. You need to just focus on who you are and all that you can do, and that you can nurture this little idea, the little fish, the little Page of Wands. That's the truth that is underlying this message. I think something happened that has upset your confidence here. Okay. Yeah. And on the bottom of the deck here, we get the Hangman. This is a perspective that you need. When you look at things upside down, you get a new perspective. Sometimes you get stuck here until you can see things from upside down, right? So that's what this Ace of Air is waiting. You have to wait. Well, you don't have to wait. You ought to just immediately see. You can just see the truth. The Hierophant, the Magician, the Three of Wands. You know your power. You're very solid earth person. You have all the tools that you need. You just manifest and then wait to see the thing that you finished, fix, sign, come in, right? Okay, the future. We see the completion of this little Page of Wands into a King of Fire, this project, this little fishy, this Ace of Air, helping you know that you can do this. And it's important what you have to do. It's big. It's like, this is not a little thing. You need the High Priestess, the Hierophant, and the Magician. Like, the powers are aligned to support you in creating this project or finishing this, whatever it is you're supposed to focus on. Okay? Okay. King of Fire, the future. Damn it. We get the Ten of Swords. Still, okay. You're still hurting. Even though you're focusing on this other project, the process of grieving it'll still proceed behind, right? You're embracing a Nine of Swords, right? That's a part of your embrace. The Seven of Swords happened to you. Then you get to a Nine of Swords. And here in the future, we get the Ten of Swords. So this is just the ending and also the new day dawning here. So it still hurts here. We get the Page of Swords. It's a little quick and honest truth bringer. Can be social media realm. And creative chaos, the Five of Wands. Do we have here? Something ends. We get, I feel like the Page of Swords is like the Ace of Air. It's like bringing this idea forward, this truth about you and your amazing power and the importance of this project that is maturing here into a King of Fire. I kind of feel like this little Page of Swords has taken a sword out of your back somehow. It's like in some way eased your Ten of Swords pain. This new truth about you and your worth. Like, I just feel like the Page of Swords just like made it hurt a little bit less. Yeah. And there's a creative process here, which is really fun, which is just, there's no leader. It's a little chaotic. It looks like a fight, but it's like a kind of, I don't know, dinner party fight, or you're like with a group of people that are creative and you're doing something creative together. And you kind of like a process where there's not a dominant voice, and like it's part of your process that's bringing this little Page of Wands to completion as a King of Fire. This little idea, this little young beginning gets finished, matures into the King of Fire here in the future. And the process looks fun, collaborative. The Five of Wands isn't always a very comfortable place for somebody who is associated with the Hierophant. Taurus, one of my Taurus friends, I don't know. Some of my Taurus friends, they're bossy. So I don't see you being bossy ahead. I see you being fun, fiery, a part of a collective, finishing this cool thing together. And that in doing that, the pain of this ending that you're still processing in the background, even though you're focused on this creative project, is eased a little bit. Like the page just takes a little bit of that pain away. But it's still, there is a new day dawning on that grief. So this appears to be a suggestion for how to come through a loss. And in the very bottom of the deck here we get the Empress. This is appearing to me today as you, the Earth, another one of our Earth goddess types. Taurus, you of Earth. Here she is, nurturing and abundant, having nurtured that new idea. Very powerful. So don't forget you have that going for you. I'm sorry if this is your story and somebody hurt you or betrayed you. Please know that you are not to blame. I'll just do this little thing, and this pain will ease in time. Grief, loss, whatever, but just don't do this. Don't mope around and be trapped there. Look at this little fish. Love, cultivate, build, whatever this little Page of Wands idea was. That's a part of, that's surrounded by this surprise betrayal. Okay, I think you get it. I'm just being repetitive at this point. Oh, I'm having a codependent feeling, Taurus, where I just want you to know that my energy is with you right now. And believe in yourself, my friend. Okay, have a great day.